get up, get up. Let's get ready for Marcus Maven. You're about midway to the midday with Marcus Maven. And you can call in or lay back and just listen to Marcus Maven. So sit back and relax and watch Maven.
Broadcasting live from the Sam Aguiar Injury Lawyer Studios. Time for Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville. Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maben. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. And things are looking bright, both literally and physically. Beautiful, beautiful sky. Thursday, which means Louisville Live is right around the corner, and the SMU Mustangs. Steve Rummage in the building, James Black in the booth.
Yeah, man. It's we're coming down. We're 24 hours away from a little over 24 hours today. A little over.
Trust me, somebody will be
Louisville Live.
Someone will be texting you and correcting you.
It's tomorrow. Okay.
Sometime tomorrow it will happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen on Friday. But I'm excited. They released some stuff yesterday that was as far as they're gonna have the pep rally outside.
Who is going to win the dunk contest, Steve?
Well, I'm white, so I'm also worried about the 3-point contest.
Who is going to win? You're also a male. Who is going to win the 3-point contest, male or female?
Do they have? I only saw the 3 guys that are in it. They are playing. Josh Hurd did say
there's no way they don't do a co-ed 3-point contest.
Well, Josh Hurd said this morning they're playing 3-on-3 with the
no.
guys. No, swear to God, he said the guys and the girls are playing.
No,
when I heard it, I was like, okay,
no.
Can we do that? Yeah,
Going to my sport, Olympic 3-on-3.
Who's going to be the guy that just takes it way too far?
Give me that.
Okay, Kaysen. Yeah, thank you.
Oh. Every bit of toxic basketball masculinity would come out of me in a heartbeat. I promise you. Listen, again, I tell a story to this day. There's a girl on this look, she's a prominent female in this city, a very prominent female.
Yeah.
She would not get off that court.
Yeah.
When I had when I was in charge of running the open runs and we had to use the SAC facility.
Yeah.
And that girl or her and her female friends would not remove themselves. And I'm like, you're supposed to be my future wife and you're blowing it.
Yeah.
You're blowing it by not getting off this basketball court.
Was this the
Don't even suggest any of who this person.
Point guard.
Listen, I'm not having that.
Have a lot of assists.
I'm not having that conversation
over the years
at all. But you get my point. No, with her.
Oh, okay.
I probably would let her play.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but yeah, you get the point.
Yeah.
Excited about Louisville Live.
But I'm pumped for it, man. Yeah, I'm ready to get over there
in its entirety. I'm excited for the energy of Louisville kind of feeding off each other. You know,
the whole weekend,
right.
The whole weekend. But tomorrow starts it.
I'm expecting Louisville Live to help me ignore my anxiety for SMU.
I'm not really anxious. We're gonna win that game big. But we'll get to that. But I am.
Your juice looks good.
For you.
Yeah, who the hell are you?
Oh, come on, guys, don't do that. Feeling a little under the weather. You know, give me.
You're the sickest.
No, I'm not. Janet's sick, dude. And I think she got me sick.
You're the sickest, not sick looking dude. Listen, that's your curse. Your curse is you don't look sick, and you never look sick, and your face, your slow speed, Nikki, doesn't make you look sick.
I'm not. What are you talking?
Slow speed. You know when Nikki tries to walk in here slow, like pretend sick. It's like, listen, Bob. You look that work with Bob. And Miss Valvano.
Don't
but
work
not-
with anybody. I'm not
that
feeling
don't-
well.
that
And now Nick's actually not feeling well. We're like, shut up, dude.
that doesn't work with other toxic men. Like,
Sissy.
yeah, go find.
Are you saying I'm a limper?
Go, oh, yeah. Oh, it's Nikki. Cause no, I would not call you a limper because when you hit stuff, you don't drag it out. I don't think Steve is more of a limper than you are.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah, actually, I won't even fight that.
the Norton Thomas puts you in the limper category.
Yeah, when I fell and shattered my kneecap, yeah, I was like, this is it. I'm a limper for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and Steve saw like
That was a memento mori moment for me. Just like, yeah, you're a mortal human being.
Steve saw and heard me get so many bones crunched in my hand one time.
Yeah,
Right.
that was brutal.
And
Oh God, what happened there?
what did it sound like, Steve?
Oh, Marcus has a
Oh.
habit. He's gotten okay. Like, we don't have to sugarcoat it. Marcus has been in his situation for a long time, so he's very comfortable. He'll move his chair around through tight spaces and he'll go. But this time, he just got a little too close to the wall. And when we were going out the door, he was full speed ahead and just went, and it like grinded his knuckles up against it. And I was like, I literally was like, he didn't scream. I went, oh, oh, God.
No,
Yeah,
Steve, but Steve knows like the more painful it is to me,
Mm-hmm.
the more I just like I almost go into like a monk Buddhist like state.
You just like ignore it
No,
or
I-
like absorb
No,
it or
'cause
something.
I know I die.
Oh,
yeah.
I die. Like I die. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It hurts so bad that I'm just like, there's no reaction.
Yeah.
That's gonna make me
I
feel.
screamed.
like I'm
Like,
screaming
I
on the
literally-
inside. I'm
I
screaming
literally-
right now.
I-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Scream.
how I am. It's like my gut
I heard each knuckle hit individually.
and
Oh.
crunch.
Oh.
Yeah, listen, it was the worst, but yeah,
Oh.
like that's how I've kind of always been. Like if something hurts so bad, it's just like, what you? I think my body just says you're gonna need every ounce of fight or flight to survive.
Yeah.
So
This moment.
you better just focus all your attention on something else.
On the swelling.
'Cause,
Like,
yeah, because when the swelling comes, then it's gonna hurt.
No, because I see Marcus in a because again, we've been on the show long enough. We don't have to get weird about this. A lot of people, including myself, if I did that, I would take off sprinting somewhere. Like, oh God. And just, so I watch Marcus go. I watch Marcus run in his mind and just shut his whole it's like
shut down.
his whole body shuts
you
down.
just went into like the Shaolin monk.
Yeah. Oh
like,
no. Listen, Kevin. We went to a Tennessee Volunteers game, right? And I was getting out the car, and I was kind of, I got long arms, so I was kind of in the back seat,
Mhm.
or the back door was open too, right? I had my hand there. Kevin Smiley shut the door, right?
Oh,
And it didn't shut. And he shut the door again, and I was looking straight to his face, holding the thing. He didn't realize he was close. He was trying to shut the door,
On
and
your
I'm
head.
looking in his face, and I'm like, Kevin, you realize that's my hand that you're crunching on the door, and he's looking in my face, and he's kind of like wondering why the door's not shut.
it's like something's wrong with this
And-
door, Marcus.
Yeah, but the way I'm looking at him, he's like, "Why aren't you screaming?"
Was that the Florida game?
I think it was.
I remember because I remember you telling that story.
I'm like, hey, Kevin, you do realize why the door's not shutting?
While he's actively trying to.
Yeah. Like he gave it one, and
Marcus's hand. He was like,
Just-
yeah, six long arms. So imagine the extension he's getting.
Oh yeah,
Trying to-
there's some torque on
He's a
that
big
door.
dude.
Yeah, that's what-
yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah, it was the worst. Oh, but
Fantastic.
anyway, so where are we at right now?
Juice looks good today, by the way.
Thank you.
Juice looks
I'm-
real good today.
Listen, I'm in no way concerned with the juice. because I got coffee.
Yeah.
From our spot.
From Bait Al Mocha.
Bait
who is-
Al Mocha.
They've won me over. as
People.
my
So
coffee
good.
spot, dude.
What's better, their coffee or their pastries? Dude?
Oh,
I haven't had the pastry, but James.
Yo,
you
James
saw
said
the selection?
No, he said they're
yo,
awesome.
I've
Holy
had
cow.
I've had a couple of them.
Listen, they've got
Yo.
two big. I'm gonna say it, and I mean this. It's Disney-esque.
Really?
Yeah.
Like I mean, they have two viewing containers, four sections deep, and it's like real deal. Like, and when I say, I'm like, if I took a picture and sent it to Charity and was like, I'm at Disney, she'd be like, where you at? You know, like
Listen,
no.
people, you can go to their website, but I suggest you're probably better off coming over here in person. When I say Bait Al Mocha, Bayt is how you spell bait. It is 2 doors down from the studio. I'm telling you, if you want to impress somebody, if you want to close a business deal, if you want to interview somebody, if this is a Tinder meeting spot.
Yeah,
It's a good Tinder,
absolutely.
vibe. It is a coffee vibe. You want to look snooty. You want to impress somebody. Try it out.
And the workers are just fantastic. Like everybody has you can tell
Yeah.
that the ownership over there really pushes good interaction. Yeah, good interaction. Tyron Stokes will be here tomorrow.
Speaking of good
It's
interactions,
a big deal. It's a big deal.
what is he, the number 7 junior?
No, it's the number 1 junior.
Oh, number 7 player, I think. What did I see about 7?
I don't know. Maybe overall.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe in
that's
any-
probably what it was.
Out of all the classes.
And people, he's the full.
He's the good.
Yeah,
man.
he's the full tilt.
This guy has a dunk highlight video.
Hey, people.
Yeah.
He's the real deal.
Yeah.
Not a overrated prospect. He's the full real deal. With the body, with the attitude, with the he's the real deal. He's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not one of those guys. Oh,
I'd love to see him up close and personal. I mean, of course, I don't know where you could do that, but I'm DM Ty Spalding. But there is a lot with that, man. But he has a layup highlight video.
layup package.
A 5-minute layup video of just things he can do. I mean, just insane. Like, so it's a big deal, man. He's got family here. It's his genes are well, I know I think he's related to Leroy Hickerson over there. He's coaching Seneca, who's doing a great job over there. And he's a ridiculous athlete,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Full tilt.
Yeah. But man, just like he's the guy. He's a different level number 1 pick in the NBA draft type guy.
Texas says, I'm trying to impress. Is it worth?
He's trying to impress. I don't know what that means. I ain't trying to impress no women with snooty coffee.
Oh, by the way, Steve,
We probably think.
thank you so much for the inundation of half nude men I got in my email yesterday. That was awesome. Thanks.
That's a PR violation. Don't do that on air.
Yeah.
No, HR. Sorry, I said PR.
Listen.
HR.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So we were setting.
public relations.
Yeah, probably it's not great PR either, but so we were trying to set up Maria with a man.
Mhm.
Maria's a beautiful intern that we have. She's a very sweet girl. She has high standards, but that's okay. So I said, send your shirtless male pictures to nickv@espnlouisville.com.
This screams HR violation everywhere.
Probably.
I don't want to hear about this.
Why, yes.
Yeah, I don't want any
Oh,
part.
yes.
Actually, I'm reporting.
Well,
I'm reporting it.
Bill.
I'll talk to Phil later.
Bill.
Yeah, so we'll talk to Phil Baker about this.
Oh no, he'll talk to you. Don't worry about it.
Actually, all kidding aside,
Yeah.
there's only one photo that was serious. All the other ones were sending me like Fred Flintstone and like Danny DeVito and
Wait,
Were they
Pat
AI?
Garfield. No, they were like cartoons.
wait. So somebody did send a
but
real
one
deal?
person sent a real one.
Look, I'm not knocking them either.
No.
Hey,
This dude's shooting a shot. And I gotta be honest with you, man. Dude's ripped. But you could tell the photo he sent was a cropped nude. So I didn't, thankfully, he didn't send me any, how you doing?
and
but-
kudos to him for not.
Right. And kudos to him for, knowing.
Yeah.
But the man was like, I'll shoot my shot. And good looking cat. I gotta be honest.
Well,
Yeah.
Listen, and
Good looking dude.
and here's the problem. I encourage shot shooters.
Yeah.
Young, like I said,
I mean, as long as you're not doing weird
Yeah,
stuff.
No, it was
Yeah.
tastefully
listen,
edited.
Yeah, don't like super pet peeve for the for the youth is getting shamed out of shooting a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll pull somebody to the side and have a full conversation with them. Like, hey, young man, you go shoot. I see you looking over there. You go shoot. Go over there right now. It's funny. I Spy, right? It's
Mhm.
one of my on the low favorite movies. Owen Wilson and Eddie Murphy, right? And of course, this is a common gimmick in all the shows, where Owen Wilson has the earpiece in, and Eddie Murphy is coaching him to try to close the deal, right? And he starts to, say, "Hey man, this works every time." And he's in Owen Wilson's ear, and he's like, "Baby, I woke up this morning, a sea was storming inside of me," and he was telling him to say that to the girl. He was like, "A sea was storming inside of me." He said, "And when I get that feeling," you can imagine
Right.
Owen Wilson.
Sexual healing.
Yeah. He's like, and it's good for us. And it makes me feel so fine. So yeah, I would actually do that to young, and whatever texter says you're not trying to impress a girl with a bougie coffee, what are you gonna do? Just, hey baby, we're gonna go to the bar and get drunk? Yeah, try that, and then try the coffee spot and see who closes faster.
Yeah. Especially with those desserts. Come on, bro.
That is good.
Especially with this girl.
Especially with the desserts.
I mean,
Well, I guess technically close faster.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. Anyway,
So there's that. But no, yeah, it's a big weekend though. So I am looking forward to that. I got tickets for the family tomorrow. It's going to be.
I don't like the way you brushing off this SMU thing so easily.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Trust, bro.
I'm scared, Steve.
Listen, Steve, take the rest of the year off if you're going to do that.
I just trust, bro.
Just take the rest of the year off.
They
If
aired the ball
that
out, and
could
our
be
secondary hasn't been good. There, I said it.
See, now you've opened the door to that.
I'm just nervous.
You know what?
I'm
Never mind.
confident.
You were right.
I'm confident. I'm just nervous.
Now we got the.
Well, we made mistakes, and the secondary's not good, and the defensive line's not been good, and we're not blocking right. And
It's not unfair what you just said, Nikki.
I know.
I watched. You know why?
Nervous.
You know why, Nikki? I watched.
the crowd's not going to show up.
Now you're on your own.
Who's that?
No.
Surprised the fingers aren't in my nose yet.
Can't get Louisville fans to come out for a noon game, so I don't know what's going to happen.
It was. Oh, you know what? We got Dr. Patel coming up.
We do.
So I guess we better take an early
Let's go ahead and
break.
do that. Let's go ahead and take a
Just
break
set up.
because that's why we were joking, but we was just kind of wrapping up on the Louisville Live tomorrow night. We'll talk more Louisville Live tomorrow, but when we talk to Dr. Patel, we'll get a couple football things in there, and then we'll dive into SMU.
Quick commercial break. 939 The Ville.
Tech-savvy professionals delivering equipment, technology, and service for all your office, network, and print communication needs. Look no further.
Just with love for duplicators.
High-quality office equipment, print, and IT solutions at fair and transparent pricing. That is Duplicator's commitment to you. Your tech-savvy office equipment and outsourced IT professionals can simplify your daily work process wherever you find yourself working with world-class network business machines and solutions from Rico and Sapin.
For today and tomorrow.
And that commitment continues with their commercial print and mailing division, Derby City Litho. Check out the Rico Pro C7210 graphic print system providing superior color output. Duplicator Sales, Derby City Litho, Corporate Mailing Systems, Rico and Savin. Call them at 502-589-5555 or visit them online, duplicatorsales.net, or at their store, 831 East Broadway, Louisville, with offices in Elizabethtown, Lexington, Paducah.
Just whistle for Duplicator Sales.
Your home is your fortress, and your first line of defense is your roof. So if your roof is under attack by either Mother Nature or Father Time, you should be calling Citadel Roofing and Construction. Citadel Roofing and Construction is locally owned and operated, will provide free inspections, estimates, and of course they'll work with your insurance. Did I also mention their A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau? Let Citadel Roofing and Construction protect the roof that protects you by calling 502-219-7964 today.
Hey, Louisville fans, Steve Rummage here. In life, there are moments when the stakes are high and the decisions you make can forever change the outcome of your financial future. Buying or selling your home, that's one of those major league moments. Imagine this. If we're facing a major surgery, you wouldn't pick a cut-rate surgeon or someone offering a 1% discount, right? So why gamble with a cheaper option when it comes to selling your home? Go with a pro, someone who's recently named one of Louisville's 40 under 40, and call Josh Jarbo. Josh and the team of agents at RE/MAX Empire understand the value of what's at play. They don't offer any gimmicks, and they definitely don't take shortcuts. They provide the full MVP treatment every step of the way. So when buying or selling your home, choose the team that goes the distance for you. At RE/MAX Empire, your goals paired with their strategy is a guaranteed recipe for success. I'm Steve Rummage, and I'm telling you, in real estate, don't settle for anything less than the best. Call Josh Jarbo at 502-216-7590 or check out his website at joshjarbo.remaxempireky.com.
Josh Jarbo, principal broker owner, RE/MAX Empire at Modern Mortgage A to Z, NMLS number 2256125. Equal housing lender.
Hey, Cards fans. Do you or a loved one suffer from gout? Gout is a very painful form of arthritis that can also lead to kidney and heart disease. I bet you didn't know there's now a Gout Center of Excellence right here in Louisville. They use the most up-to-date clinical guidelines and FDA-approved treatments to get you relief fast. If you have gout, be sure to call the Gout Center of Excellence at 502-719-2472.
Hey, what you drinking?
My usual, Ale 8.
You're drinking LA like Los Angeles?
No, like Kentucky. It's called Ale 8-1 or Ale 8, and it's the best.
One. Cheers.
Compass Media Networks, your home for the NFL. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
We are ESPN Louisville, presented by Ale 8-1, Kentucky's original ginger soft drink since 1926.
Kentucky football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws an awesome block so his teammate can score instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Everyone knows the most exciting part of football is the score. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Place a first touchdown score wager today. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, Kentucky only. Existing customer offer subject to eligibility and requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Bonus bets expire 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Most people don't put much thought into the value of a reliable water or sewage pump until they have to. Well, I have a team that never stops thinking about it. Kentuckiana Pump Sales. With over 35 years of experience, Kentuckiana Pump Sales, a premier Ashland pump shop, includes sump, sewage, grinder pumps, and many more to service all residential, municipal, commercial, and industrial needs. Next time you think about pumps, think Kentuckiana Pump Sales, 3303 Industrial Parkway, Jeffersonville, Indiana, or visit KentuckianaPumps.com.
Elevate your game and leave foot pain in the dust with New Horizons Foot and Ankle in Louisville. Our top-ranked award-winning doctors deliver next-level care with cutting-edge treatments. Whether you're battling foot and ankle pain, dealing with sports injuries, or looking for peak performance, laser treatments, or custom orthotics, we've got the advanced solutions to get you back on your feet pain-free. Visit kyfootdoctor.com. New Horizons Foot and Ankle, where innovation meets excellence.
Welcome back. Well, take a second to remind everybody that temperature control is and always will be one of the most valuable resources one could have. If you agree with that sentiment, the DFH company is most certainly the company for you. Simply dial 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Or look into the Mitsubishi Mini Split like the one we use here at the 93.9 studios for that hard to heat, hard to cool room in your home. Again, 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Joining us, the below the knee specialist in all things sports related, or it didn't have to be sports related, but just everything
Just in life.
mobile related. Dr. Patel, thanks for joining us here on 93.9. What's going on?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Feeling good. The weather's nice. Always looking forward to getting you in here and kind of educating the masses. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. There are a couple of words that have always been a part of my youth. Before we get into the particular injuries of certain players, I want to ask you a few general questions to kind of write off a little bit of the wives' tales, things of my youth. Okay, is that okay?
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay, the first one. Okay, this is one of those things that you never had a technical term. I never knew what it meant, but we hear about all of us suffering from it, and I say all of us, like at some point as an athlete, you're going to have this certain thing. I need you to explain to me what it is, and I need you to explain to the masses why it's so debilitating. What is technically turf toe?
So turf toe is usually when you see it a lot in wide receivers, but it's basically when you're jamming up that big toe. Usually when you're extending that toe in a play and you get in a sort of an injury to the motion in that toe. So it flares up, it becomes painful. It can stay painful for a long time. And usually when we have to fix this type of injury, we put in a almost like a plate into your insole. So you're not having that extra range of motion that happens usually when you hyperextend this big toe area.
Okay, so when you say plate, okay, again, I'm my methods of turf toe, or the solutions of turf toe probably sound archaic to you. When you talk about, back in the day, it was just kind of taped and braced, and you couldn't tell if you were cutting off the circulation and things like that. Like, how much have the treatment of turf toe improved over the last, say 10 years?
I mean, taping and bracing and all of this is still widely used, especially when something like this hyperextension happens, say during a game, right? You're not going to have a chance to do anything more, I guess, modern, but it's improved significantly. I mean, you see this a lot in athletes, including even tennis players. It's all around that one joint, which is it's called the metatarsophalangeal joint, but it's where there's a lot of inflammation. You can kind of get an idea of this when people say, my big toe doesn't move the way it used to move, or when I go hiking, it starts to hurt. And there's just tons of what people tend to call arthritis type feelings. But today what we do with this is we put almost a metal bar in that area in an insole. So what it does is it limits any kind of hyper movement, any extra movement at that toe. And now you've got things like radial shockwave therapy, laser therapy, things like this that can actually help get a lot more blood flowing to that area, which can create a healing cascade and start to reduce those symptoms. So it has advanced. I mean, it's not perfect still, but it's definitely come a long way. But I mean, taping and bracing and all these things are still widely used.
Yeah, I don't remember who brought the idea to me, but the idea that when you're running, that's the last thing to leave the earth, and all you're pushing off and all you're stopping, and it's just like, and it sounds so minute when you hear turf toe. It's like these guys are missing games, and you're like turf toe, and then you realize people retire off of just dealing with an inflamed toe.
It's funny you say that because, it's so true. Like, people minimize a lot of foot injuries until you're dealing with a foot injury. And then all of a sudden it becomes the most important thing. And there's so many bones and ligaments in the foot. I mean, if you think about it, when your heart's pumping blood, the furthest that blood has to go is to the tips of your toes, right? So when you end up with an injury at the toe, or even if your foot's just barely hurting, you hear about heel pain and all these things. That's when you start to realize, you know what, I wish I had a foot doctor. And I always joke around with my patients. I tell them, in Louisville, I might not be in your top 5 of people of, doctors you need to call, but cities like New York and Philadelphia, where you're walking every day, podiatrists tend to be in their speed dial.
Oh, really? Oh, speaking of, you can follow Dr. Patel on Twitter. It's at DRPATELESPN Lou. For all your, like I said, he's really, really quick for the updates and information. Also, KY Foot Doctor spelled out, KY Foot Doctor, DOCTOR.com. So if you want to schedule an appointment online. One more question to kind of about, kind of the wives' tale. Like, I don't know if this is one particular thing or it's kind of, if, you talked about how many bones are in the foot. So when somebody says plantar fasciitis, are we talking about a particular bone, or is it just like the elongation and is it's like microfractures or anything like that? Like what is exactly plantar fasciitis?
Yeah, so plantar fasciitis is, what we typically refer to as just heel pain, right? And it's not the bone, so to speak, it's a ligament. It's a ligament called the plantar fascial ligament. It's basically at the heel bone, on the inside part of the heel bone, at the bottom of your foot. And that's where it kind of starts, and it goes all the way, to the metatarsals, which is the long bones in the foot, which we'll talk about here in a little while. And then continues on to the toes. And this helps create like a windlass mechanism, which is basically what allows your foot to kind of move, expand and contract. People that are dealing with heel pain, it's usually because they're putting a lot of pressure in that area. That can be one of the reasons. You'll hear about people having, they'll say, I have a heel spur. That's when the ligament's pulling on that origination point at the heel bone, the calcaneus. And so the bone's starting to elongate there and creating a sort of a spur. But the entire plantar fasciitis, injury or ailment basically is it comes down to a stretching issue. It's to do with your calf muscles and your Achilles. And a lot of us don't stretch, as much as we should. We don't hydrate as much as we should. And if you're doing stretches and if you're wearing the right type of shoes, and the right type of insoles, it's very avoidable. It's a very fixable and avoidable situation.
Where would I identify, like, if I'm not saying I'm self-diagnosing, but where would I normally kind of feel the pain where I say, okay, that maybe this is plantar fasciitis, maybe this is something, not just soreness?
Yeah. So the most typical thing that we'll hear from patients is that first step out of bed in the morning is very painful. You're kind of limping and hobbling over, and we call that post-static dyskinesia. But another time that it can happen is if you've been sitting for a long time, right? So if you've been sitting for a long time and you get up, all of a sudden you're feeling pain right at the inside of that heel area. Sometimes it goes into your arch of the foot as well. That's kind of how you know you probably have a little bit of plantar fasciitis there. And keeping in mind that itis portion in anything, what that means is inflammation. Itis equals inflammation. So anytime you hear like, tendonitis, inflammation of the tendon, plantar fasciitis, inflammation of the plantar fascial ligament. So if you're having any kind of heel pain that's at the bottom of the heel on the inside part near the arch, that's probably plantar fasciitis. It's definitely important to rule out anything more major because you can get fractures, you can get tears and things like that in this area. And there's really great treatments now which can get you back on your feet fast and get you back to the activities that you want to do. But keep stretching. That's the most important thing, is if you're stretching, you can avoid a lot of this.
Talking with Dr. Patel here of New Horizons Foot and Ankle Associates. They have 3 locations in Louisville, Kentucky, with more on the way. Doctor, I do have a question because I'm a Cowboys fan, and the Cowboys are riddled, okay?
I saw that.
Apart with injuries this year. One, probably the biggest one, because I know we've got a couple out, but Micah Parsons, who's the best defensive player in the league, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion. Took a high ankle sprain the other day. They're saying possibly back by week 8, but it looks like he will be out this weekend. Just want to kind of get your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, so they classified it as a high ankle sprain, and then I looked up what's been going on with him a little bit, just from the publicly available records, and they did an X-ray, and the good thing is when they did that X-ray, the X-ray was negative, so we know there was no fractures or dislocations. But another big thing that we can kind of conclude from that X-ray being negative is there was probably no widening of those lower leg bones around the ankle, where if you see that widening, that's kind of when you're thinking, okay, it's a little bit more significant of an injury, and you might have to do something like the tightrope surgery that we talked about last week. So the fact that they didn't see anything, they ruled the X-ray as negative, and then they went ahead and had MRI done when they got back to Dallas. That kind of puts us in that area of high ankle sprain. Now there's 3 grades to that. Grade 3, you're usually still considering surgery, especially in a high level athlete like Micah.
Yeah.
But a grade 1 or grade 2, if you have a grade 1 sprain, it's pretty mild, 1 to 3 weeks. Grade 2 is a little bit more significant, possibly a partial tear in a ligament there, and that would be about a 3 to 6 week recovery. Now keep in mind, he's a very active, very healthy athlete, and I was looking at he gave an update on his injury himself, I think on Monday, and he was very grateful and very humbled by the experience, because he himself said he felt like he was invincible for a while there. But he sounded very positive, which makes me think that it's hopefully, on the minor end of things, and they'll just rehab him properly and get him back, because again, like we talked about last week, we don't want to go back too quickly to activity and end up with a higher, more significant injury. So I think they'll take their time with him, but I don't think he'll be out too long, or at least that's what I'm hoping. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, usually the good news with that for me is I'm like, well, on the other side of the line, we got another, quarterback wrecker over there. But it looks like, I don't know how much you know about this one, but DeMarcus Lawrence, they might move him to the IR. I was just curious. I know he took a pretty bad foot injury with that one. Yeah.
So his is what we call a coach's nightmare kind of injury, along with those ACL injuries. Anytime you hear midfoot injury, I know Marcus hates when I say this, but anytime you hear midfoot injury, in his case, they've been talking more about Liz Frank, or it's actually pronounced Liz Frank, but people tend to say Liz Frank. It's named after a French surgeon that served in Napoleon's army. But what it is the long bones in the foot that connect to the toes, and the midfoot bones, which make up the arch of the foot. There's a connection there, and there's 2 parts to the Liz Frank. It's the joint and the ligament. So the joint is the long bones connecting to the bones that make up the arch of the foot, and then the ligament is a strong band of tissue that holds all this together. And it's very important in stability and function, especially in athletes where you're doing a lot of pivoting and cutting like football players.
Right.
And so when you say midfoot injury, and, you know, I'll go a little bit more into this here in a second.
Yeah.
How bad is that injury? And if you've ever had any kind of injury at the midfoot, it's very, very painful. There's swelling. There's a lot of pain. It's hard to put your foot down. So they did do an x-ray, and I believe I read somewhere that it basically there was no shifting of the bone. So that's a good sign, just in and of itself. But now you have to worry about the ligament. And so they needed the MRI. And I think Mike McCarthy actually said it was worse than they expected.
Yeah.
So that leads me to believe that the ligament had some interruption there. And now it comes down to if they're going to treat this surgically or non-surgically. If they treat it non-surgically, you're looking at 6 to 8 weeks anyway, minimum. And if they're treating it surgically, possibly longer. The bigger problem here is DeMarcus Lawrence has had multiple foot injuries, including surgery on his feet. And so that's the part that we don't know is there something that's happened in the same place before? If that's the case, it's kind of like, you know, if you get a cut on your arm and you keep getting a cut in the same place, that skin, that area, that muscle, and all the things in that area is going to become weaker each time you keep injuring it, right? So I think they're going to take their time with him and make sure they rehab him properly, and get him back when he's fully ready.
It's a terrible update. I wish you could have gave me a little better answer than that.
Lie to me, doctor.
You know yourself so well. I'm like, he's never going to play football again. I'm done.
No, I think, you know, he'll be back. He'll be back.
Yeah.
I know he's seeing a very, very good doctor in Texas that I know very well. And I think he worked with Dak Prescott too. And so he's in very good hands, and I think he'll be back hopefully sooner than what's being led on. Again, the details of the MRI, I wish we had access to that, right? That would be the one that I'd be able to tell you, okay, Steve, he's going to be back in week 7.
Right.
So now you're ready to violate HIPAA.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him.
So Dr. Patel, kind of circling it back around local, from what I think we would say Quincy Riley is considered a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, they've been a little quiet about that injury, but it is a lower leg injury. That's what we do. He tried to go last week, didn't go,
but tried to.
Yeah, but tried to go. So
let me just ask you, if this is like, you know, a high ankle sprain or something like that, would you say the most difficult part is the backpedaling and explosion forward? Or is it the lateral movement that's more difficult to recover from on a high ankle sprain?
I think it's a little bit of everything, but you know, with the high ankle, that ligament and that joint that's there, it's not that there's that much motion in that area, but the motion that is there, that 1 millimeter of flexibility that's there, is so critical because it's holding the two leg bones where they need to be held. And it's done by this one little, you know, well, it's a group of 3 ligaments in that area. So depending on the position the player plays, and, you know, in Quincy Riley's particular case, you know, cornerbacks have and D-backs have, they have a very difficult task, right? It's you're backpedaling and then you're cutting and turning and running and there's so much pressure put in that area that I can see why they're taking a little bit longer, even if he was ready. And I'm sure he was. All these athletes that are at such a high level, they're ready to play, right? They just want to be back on the field and be back there with their teammates and perform. But that's where the medical team and the personal training staff has to kind of lay down the law and say, listen, you know, let's take a little bit longer and let's make sure it's back as close to 100% as we can get it before we get you out there, because you don't want to risk a re-injury or a more significant injury. And, you know, him being the level of player that he is, I think it was I'm hoping it was just a strategic decision not to have him play last week. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him coming up soon.
Okay, I have one more kind of selfish question. I need you to be back to the future on this one, because I am arguing with my college coach right now, right? We're back in the past, and he is trying to force me to wear something called an active ankle. Now, first of all, I don't like them because they don't look cool and they're plastic, okay? I need you to defend me when I say, Coach, I don't like wearing braces unless I'm hurt because that's going to weaken my ankle. That was my challenge to Coach. I think those active ankles are going to make my ankles weaker. A lot of times I lost that argument. Would you have been able to defend me, or would you agree with the coach that active ankles are good, a good product? If you know what I'm talking about, the active ankle.
Yeah, the ankle brace.
Yeah.
I'd have to defend your coach, unfortunately, on this one. And here's why. There's, if one of the most commonly torn ligaments in the whole body is what's called the ATFL. It's a ligament that's on the outside of your ankle, and it happens when you roll your ankle, right? And you'll be surprised when you get an MRI on almost anybody after the age of 35, 40. There's been injuries that have happened that you never even thought you had because you healed them without any issues. But with athletes, what happens is this same injury tends to happen over and over and over. And every time that injury heals, there's scar tissue that builds up. And every time that breaks down from another injury, it's a longer healing time, and it could lead to a more significant injury. So the brace is designed to kind of keep everything where it needs to be and keep things in place and prevent any excessive motion. So he was just trying to help you, man. I think I'd have to side with the coach on that one.
First you crush Steve's dreams.
Yeah.
Then you crush my past. Dr. Patel, people follow Dr. Patel at DrPatelESPNLOU. Again, New Horizons Foot and Ankle Associates. You can give them a call, 502-808-FOOT 3668. 502-808-3668. Listen, we do appreciate all your time. We know you're a busy person. You got any good plans for the weekend?
Catch some football, and actually we did something pretty cool last night. We went to our first Lou City FC game. They won 3-0. They're doing really well. I think they just need one more win, and then they clinch home field advantage for the rest of the season. So that was a great experience, and everyone there took great care of our team.
Yeah, it was an absolute beautiful night too. So I bet that was a great time. Okay, get on out of here, Dr. Patel. Looking forward to talking to you next week.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Indeed, it was Dr. Patel. I don't care. This is one time I'll just argue with Dr. Patel and Coach Crum.
Hey, you're
both
wrong.
of y'all are wrong. Look, 27-year coaching history, and Lord knows how many, how much
working on feet and ankles,
all the foot and ankle knowledge, all of it. It's just no swag. How much does swag matter?
If I got bulky ankles.
You look good, you feel good, you play good, and active ankles as any player, it just doesn't work.
You think Kenya Martin wear active ankles? That's probably why. That's why you blocked that shot, because you probably had active ankles on trying to shoot a floater.
I guarantee I missed dunking on Kenya Martin because Coach Crum could get Johnny. Go get Marcus's active ankles.
My God, dude.
Coach, I'm not Forrest Gump, Coach.
I would pay money to be able to go back in time and have you in that locker room when he walked in, and Montrezl Harrell's sitting over here, Perrin Johnson, different, and I'm sitting in the locker, and he walks in and said, "Steve, that was great defense." And I love your shoes. No, and they were Kobe's.
They were patent leather Kobe's. Red patent leather Kobe's. I'm like, but you know what that is? That's the grandparents treating the babies like they're spoiled, and you didn't treat me like that. My goodness. 93.9 The Ville.
Stronghold makes light work of heavy metal. We're looking for more heroes to join our team and make the best industrial storage in the world. We're hiring for first and second shift production workers, welders, sales positions, and more. You'll get weekly pay, 401k, health and dental benefits, other perks, plus bragging rights for working on products that'll outlive us all. Apply at strong-hold.com/careers.
Hi, I'm attorney Alex White. I run a law firm right here in Kentucky. We have over 10 attorneys who work hard every day for our clients. We're proud to be local, and giving back to our community is very important. After a car wreck, you have a lot of options of who to hire as your attorney. But if you want good representation and hardworking lawyers, you want to keep your business local, visit SueDistractedDriver.com.
This is a legal advertisement. Work may be performed by other attorneys.
Do your old floors need help? Hi, I'm Doug Corfage. Corfage Floor Covering keeps a variety of products in stock and can install your flooring quicker than ever. We'll bring samples to you and suggest the best solution for your lifestyle and budget. Call me on my cell phone, 643-6111. I don't want you to be okay with your floor. I want you to love it.
Matzo Pie Anchorage is Louisville's best-kept secret and the pizza partner for 1020's flagship craft brewery in Butchertown, 2 blocks from Lynn Family Stadium, along with 1020 Douglas Loop and in Clarksville. Matzo Pie is the perfect combination of flavor, tasty sourdough, thin-crust pizza paired with local craft beer. Keep it independent, Louisville. Matzo Pie and 1020 Craft Brewery are your absolute go-tos for local brick oven pizza and craft beer. You can also bring the pie to your backyard. Unique caterings for parties of all sizes, weddings, birthdays, derby, retirements, corporate lunches, rehearsals, and more. Visit matzopie.com for more.
Your home is your fortress, and your first line of defense is your roof. So if your roof is under attack by either Mother Nature or Father Time, you should be calling Citadel Roofing and Construction. Citadel Roofing and Construction is locally owned and operated, will provide free inspections, estimates, and of course they'll work with your insurance. Did I also mention their A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau? Let Citadel Roofing and Construction protect the roof that protects you by calling 502-219-7964 today.
Hey, Louisville fans, Steve Rummage here. In life, there are moments when the stakes are high and the decisions you make can forever change the outcome of your financial future. Buying or selling your home, that's one of those major league moments. Imagine this. If we're facing a major surgery, you wouldn't pick a cut rate surgeon or someone offering a 1% discount, right? So why gamble with a cheaper option when it comes to selling your home? Go with a pro, someone who's recently named one of Louisville's 40 under 40, and call Josh Jarbo. Josh and the team of agents at RE/MAX Empire understand the value of what's at play. They don't offer any gimmicks, and they definitely don't take shortcuts. They provide the full MVP treatment every step of the way. So when buying or selling your home, choose the team that goes the distance for you. At RE/MAX Empire, your goals paired with their strategy is a guaranteed recipe for success. I'm Steve Rummage, and I'm telling you, in real estate, don't settle for anything less than the best. Call Josh Jarbo at 502-216-7590 or check out his website at joshjarbo.remaxempireky.com.
Josh Jarbo, principal broker owner, RE/MAX Empire at Motto Mortgage A to Z, NMLS number 2256125. Equal housing lender.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Hey, Cards fans. Do you or a loved one suffer from gout? Gout is a very painful form of arthritis that can also lead to kidney and heart disease. I bet you didn't know there's now a Gout Center of Excellence right here in Louisville. They use the most up-to-date clinical guidelines and FDA-approved treatments to get you relief fast. If you have gout, be sure to call the Gout Center of Excellence at 502-719-2472 or visit them online at ralouisville.com. And be sure to tell them Marcus sent you.
This year marks a milestone for Carlin Roofing and Sheet Metal. 40 years ago in 1984 is when Carlin Roofing began serving the Louisville community. Today, they are still A-plus rated from the BBB and have taken care of many of our listeners when it comes to their roofing needs. Whether it's just a few shingles, an entire roof replacement, helping out with your insurance, or a commercial flat roof, Carlin Roofing and Sheet Metal can handle any job. They can even handle your gutters. Look them up online at carlinroofs.com. CARLON roofs.com.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and we're heading into October. Are you ready to make some money betting on sports? Go to fatjacksports.com. Basketball season starts at the end of the month. Players, props, soccer, and of course, college and the NFL. Profit coming your way through a personal portal and emailed to you each day. Consistent winning plays that are then posted and documented at fatjacksports.com. Less than $100 a week for longer packages to actually build profit betting on sports. Go to fatjacksports.com and win.
Most people don't put much thought into the value of a reliable water or sewage pump until they have to. Well, I have a team that never stops thinking about it. Kentuckiana Pump Sales. With over 35 years of experience, Kentuckiana Pump Sales, a premier Ashland pump shop, includes sump, sewage, grinder pumps, and many more to service all residential, municipal, commercial, and industrial needs. Next time you think about pumps, think Kentuckiana Pump Sales, 3303 Industrial Parkway, Jeffersonville, Indiana, or visit KentuckianaPumps.com.
Wet basement or basement leak? Call Case Foundations Repair and Waterproofing, who uses state-of-the-art technology for basement and crawl space waterproofing and offers a lifetime transferable warranty. Put a local pro in the case. Call today and ask about their reduced and no-interest payment plans. Case Foundation Repair and Waterproofing.
Hi, I'm attorney Alex White. I run a law firm right here in Kentucky. We have over 10 attorneys who work hard every day for our clients. We're proud to be local, and giving back to our community is very important. After a car wreck, you have a lot of options of who to hire as your attorney. But if you want good representation and hardworking lawyers, and you want to keep your business local, visit SueDistractedDriver.com.
This is a legal advertisement. Work may be performed by other attorneys.
Main Street is calling your name. Down One Bourbon Bar is ready to be your lunchtime or happy hour destination. Located right next to the KFC Yum Center and one of the hottest spots on the Urban Bourbon Trip, Down One is the perfect place to kick back before the big game or concert. We're here to prove that what tacos can't cure, whiskey will.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Day of baseball in the books. The Brewers forcing a Game 3, topped the Mets 5-3 in Game 2. We're down 1 in the 8th, then turned it around. Jackson Chourio homered to tie, then Garrett Mitchell made sure there was a Game 3.
2 down, runner at first, 3-3 game. He strokes it out to right center field. Taylor is back. He's at the wall, and it bounces over the fence. That's out of here. It's a 2-run go-ahead home run for Garrett Mitchell. The Brewers look like they might have been down and out, and Milwaukee takes a 5-3 lead over the Mets in the last of the 8th inning.
Mike Cousins on ESPN Radio. Chourio's homer is second of the night. At 20 years old, youngest player with a multi-homer game in postseason history. Francisco Lindor and Francisco Alvarez had RBIs for the Mets in the losing effort. Game 3 tomorrow at 7 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Radio. Elsewhere, Padres advance to the NLDS, sweep the Braves with a 5-4 Game 2 win. Scored all 5 in the second. Kyle Higashioka homered. Manny Machado came through with a 2-run double. Jackson Merrill added a 2-run triple. AL Tigers take down the Astros 5-2. Andy Ibanez with the bases clearing double in the top of the 8th to give Detroit the lead. Royals and Tigers both advance. Kansas City beats the Orioles 2-1. Bobby Witt Jr. with the game-winning RBI. Kansas City will play the Yankees in the division series.
The NFL on ESPN Louisville is powered by LouisvilleLadder.com. Built to be above. Miss anything from your favorite show? Head over to the Alex R. White, Sue Distracted Driver Podcast Center on ESPNLouisville.com.
The official broadcast partner of all U of L athletics, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Powered by Sam Aguiar Injury Lawyers. Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar.
where I'd definitely like to give a huge shout out and special thanks to one of the newest members of the team. That would be One Kentuckiana Pump Sales, for every home, building, business, or municipality that all rely on the movement these pumps provide. People, the moment you need a water or sewage pump, you should be thinking Kentuckiana Pump Sales. They're like our first responders or essential personnel. Over 36 years of experience, best service, fairest possible price. And it's right over in Jeffersonville, Indiana. People, go see Harold or go see Mark. They will find out exactly what you need. Utility, sump, affluent, grinder, sewage, anything you need. 3303 Industrial Parkway, Jeffersonville, Indiana, of course. Or you can give them a call, 812-725-9217, or simply visit KentuckianaPumps.com.
Waiting. Also, quick reminder, want to give my friends over Tri-State Men's Health a shout out. Listen, guys over 50% of guys over 50 years old actually deal with erectile dysfunction. It's something that a lot of guys deal with. So what are you looking at me like that for? Don't look at me like that. Well, anyways, but here's the thing. Don't let it get to where it messes with, your psyche, your relationship, different things, when it's something that can just be talked about and there's a fix for it. And you may say, well, Steve, I've tried a bunch of fixes. I've tried things and they're just not working. Well, Tri-State Men's Health has over a 90% success rate in that area. So get out there, try them out. They're going to give you a test dose in the office. If that test dose doesn't work, that appointment to be completely free. You'll be out zero money for going to try that out. And they'll look into what other options that, maybe can help you. So get over there, Tri-State Men's Health, take their quiz. It's 10 questions, take you about 2 to 3 minutes. Yes or no answers. Very simple. And see if any of that applies to you. And get out there and listen, you can be back in the game by the next day. So, things can change quickly for you around there. And so that'd be good. And they even say it might last longer than you ever have. So that's nothing else. It's like, that's worth it right there.
That's
So
worth its weight in gold.
Yeah. Tri-State Men's Health, and tell them you heard about them right here on 93.9 The Ville.
So what am I supposed to look for?
Well, as far as the Tri-State, the game, as far as the game, here's the thing. It's going to be, and let me tell you where my confidence comes from, and we can get a little more breakdown-ish tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But my confidence strictly comes from this. It's going to be, I was just looking it up, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be sunny in the high 70s. Perfect day. Noon game. You did take that L, which means I think people will, even if somebody was on the fence, like I'm going to Panama City next week. I was going to be in Orlando tomorrow, Saturday and stuff, and now I'm going to be at the game. Had some other opportunities and stuff too, but it's like, and there's reasons for that. I think a lot of people that are on the fence are like, no, I'm getting to this game. Mm-hmm. I'm getting here now. I think that it's just going to be such a great atmosphere in there. And SMU is going to have to come in here. And I said this the other day, I think we're going to be really sharp. That's my trust in Brom. Mm-hmm. I joked earlier about I just trust Brom. It don't matter. But my trust in Brom is we're going to be really sharp. And if we are, I don't think SMU can beat us.
The sharpness, is it post Notre Dame sharpness, or is it?
Well, I don't think we've been overly sharp all year.
Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like Notre Dame gave you something to focus on, or SMU is like, okay, we're going to scout in particular for SMU.
Both.
Okay.
I think it's both. And I'm not Brian Hall you there. Shout out to my guy. But it's the fact that you'll be sharp, but it's also because Notre Dame, I think, and we haven't been overly sharp all year, so I think we're getting that's coming. But it's not just the Notre Dame; it's also the fact that SMU is such a big game. I mean, we said it yesterday. 93.9 The Stang. They're talking about it right now. They're like, if we beat Louisville, we're going to be favoring the rest of our games. We can go to the ACC title game.
The way I phrased it is, do you beat SMU with scheme or motivation level?
Oh, man.
You can always give me percentages.
I think you can beat them on skill alone, on motivation level
Yeah, okay,
alone.
okay.
I was saying skill, but you know what I meant.
Or should I have put talent in there?
Well, you could say talent, but they're pretty awful. They're talented, man.
Too, right?
I mean, they got 9 interceptions on the year. This team does. Now, 4 of them come from DJU, but
and I know one of them, DJU is going to kill his guy.
Was it the pick 6?
The one that hit him in the face. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, if I'm DJU, there is no way I even attempt to chase that one.
No.
And I know that's such a loser quarterback thing to do. But if I hit you in the face, right between the eyes, and that ball pops up in the air and lands in somebody else's arms, and I see this envoy coming towards me, there is no way that I'm taking a hit.
Well, and especially when it's one of those where we're having, like, help me. Okay? Like, come on now. Like, Tyler Shuck hitting Ja'Cory Brooks, like, I guarantee you Ja'Cory Brooks was straight to Tyler Shuck, like, dude, that's on me. It's my bad. I gotta make that play.
No, Steve. No.
Okay.
And I'm doing this on purpose.
No, I'm listening.
They didn't even bat an eyelash at each other.
Mm-hmm.
I bet he didn't. He's not a my bad guy kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like your people.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That is annoying.
You hate my bad.
I know.
Ja'Cory Brooks strikes me as the kind of guy that doesn't even. And Tyler Shuck, they probably didn't even make eye contact over it.
And that's kind of where I was getting. That the point was, it's not even a question. I'm coming back to you. We don't have to talk about.
We
this.
don't.
Like,
yeah. I can see that more like what's the next play?
Yeah, because I just believe, but the thing is now I think Louisville's going to tinker a little more. I think you're going to see.
So you see where I was going kind of with that question though, like what makes you prepared, or what gives you more of the, I feel like they're going to win if they're sharp in here, or if they're motivated, like, we lost our
well, I think motivation wins the game for them. Because as good as I think SMU
that's what I was asking you. Okay.
And I think SMU has.
By the way, 8150-93.9 is the number. 3831-93.9 is the text line.
I said it yesterday. SMU, Louisville, Miami, 3 best receiving corps in ACC. I truly believe that. There's talent all over there, but the difference is, I think if Louisville comes out and they're playing this game in just a manner of, hey, because it kind of
track meet or possession time.
No, I don't think you're afraid of a track meet with Louisville or with SMU. The only difference is SMU stops the run really well. But if you watch Notre Dame,
stop the run with selling out on the run.
Yes, which means I think we can beat them. But you have to establish a run.
I thought I saw
there
him.
He is.
That's why I looked up.
Oh, okay, there he is, and looking good.
What up, P?
Yeah, but yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, you've got to establish somewhat of a run. Now, if you notice against Notre Dame, they did something different. He started to get Isaac Brown in open space. He got the bigger, you started to see Kewan running differently in the middle, because I think there's a little bit of not that they're afraid, but when you've got a stable that big, there is a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of like, okay, you can get pulled here,
Yeah.
But I
think
each
rep,
yeah,
you have to be violent for your yards.
But with, for instance, Kewan's splitting reps, because I think I love Duke Watson, but I think he's probably the closest to a red shirt out of them. But and maybe he don't, but I mean, because I don't know that you even care. You're not worried about red shirt.
Not nowadays.
Yeah. But if it's just clear, you're not gonna, then why not? But my thing is, I think when Kewan saw Isaac is an open space guy, Kewan, we need you here. It did feel like that
without being extremely predictable.
Yeah, because it was almost like, hey, your reps aren't based on him. It's two different sets.
So their reps are based on what plays he wants to run.
I think so. So I think we're actually going to see. I know everybody's talking about, okay, well, you got the run game, and it might, it could be a track meet, this and there. I think people are going to be surprised. I think we're going to come out and run the football really well tomorrow.
just like
Saturday. I'm sorry.
Like grounded, like.
Well, I mean, I think we're still gonna throw the football because I mean, Colin Lacey.
But but using the run to set up the pass.
Yeah. I mean, like we have dudes ever seen. I mean, dudes.
They gamble though.
Yeah,
that SMU.
Oh yeah. But
that'll get you cooked.
I don't even care BYU. Like, and I think BYU's really good. They have not played a group of receivers like we have. You know, so I'm like, and a quarterback coupling in that you've not. That's why I say I still think Louisville is better. I just think we're better. Which in turn is why some people were so upset about losing Notre Dame, because I do think this team's very good. I think we're a very good team.
And it's always frustrating when you get back in the end of the year. You're like, gosh, darn it. Like, the better year you have, the more frustrated you are in hindsight.
Oh, yeah.
With games like Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's just like, man, if you could have picked that one up. But sometimes they're necessary. And we haven't been overly sharp all year. That game might have been necessary. Because if you just sneak past that, you win it. Okay, well, then you come out against SMU and you get busted.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not any better. We're not in any better shape. If that happens,
you're actually in worse.
We're actually in worse shape.
Yeah.
Than if the opposite happens. So sometimes that could be a necessary evil. To me, that game, I really think it's got everybody's attention.
Yeah, it's motivation.
And there is a motivated team.
Is there? Is there?
And if not, you're just going to suck.
You mean just
I'm gonna be standing out there with just two middle fingers in the air like a Kentucky fan, just watching Carolina. Just like, who's Steve flipping off? We don't know. He's just standing there in the middle of the field while the teams are shaking hands. Yeah. He's got both of his middle fingers in the air, just full extended. He's lost it.
Do you need to make any kind of statement?
Nah, you got chances to make statements. I mean, sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like,
it would be nice.
Lost them. Yeah, it's gonna be like, oh,
yeah, right.
Okay. But I mean, no, you got to be you. Miami, Clemson, you got those would be statements.
So you can 34, 31 it.
Look good and win. SMU's got respect. They're a 4-1 team. Like I said, they lost to BYU. Like they're a good team. SMU wins this game, they're going to be in the top 25 next week. And probably you're going to start seeing them popping up.
And then we're going to move up one spot.
We win. Okay.
How irritating.
But I don't even care, though. Like, the rankings are so whatever.
Gary.
Title game. Like, that's the goal.
Gary, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind, Gary?
What's going on, Marcus and Steve? I was on your point about whether it's going to be motivation or whatever. Well, I was watching a little bit of the highlights of SMU last night. I can't remember where I saw them. But I think this is a game that coach is going to win because I saw, even with my own dumb eyes, SMU likes to jump routes and dive in and things. And I think Coach Brom's going to be all over figuring out how to exploit that stuff.
Gary, that's
appreciate the call.
Fantastic call, because I agree with him 100%. Which could be scheme. Yeah, you win this game with scheme.
Listen,
and but God, I mean, that's just
that
Brom's
flea
wheelhouse.
flicker. Listen, that flea flicker scares me. I watched the SMU.
Oh, the SMU.
Oh,
okay. I thought you meant the one we
ran a flea flicker, and it was
okay. But they get you on that. Well, like SMU's going to score.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
that's what I hate.
Yeah,
that's what irritates me.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just something about that team. It's like, you remember Wake Forest and the big comeback. I forget who was coaching at the time, but you remember
it's Virginia.
Virginia
came back.
I think Wake Forest did 1 year too, but we still ended up winning.
Okay,
with a bunch of you remember we had a bunch of
up at Wake Forest
onside kicks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
just those dangerous teams that you're blowing out, and then all of a sudden they get it going. You know, you're up 34-7.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden it's 27.
Hey, that's SMU, man.
That's my point. Yeah, that's what you get what I'm saying. Like, these are where my dangers come in. Like,
because Quincy or not, they're going to score. And I'm not as down on our secondary as everybody. Like, I mean, like Nick, for instance, who's like, secondary suck, but oh yeah, the worst secondary in the SEC or ACC.
Not that bad.
No,
There's been busted coverages.
No, I know, but
Georgia Tech and Notre Dame.
Yeah,
busted coverages stand out so bad.
I think I'm saying.
So wide open.
In the Notre Dame
I can say you played well, but just like 2 busted coverages they took advantage of 100%. It's like, God.
Yeah, which to be fair, I mean they cost you points.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
And so I feel that I still think they've been pretty good, but they're gonna score. I so agree with Gary though that like this is a Brom special. I mean, for Brom to watch this, he's an offensive guru, and just say, God, I'm gonna pick this defense apart.
By tomorrow, I may have a just a counter. Listen, because here's the thing, Steve. And you're gonna understand why I'm doing this.
Okay.
You've watched SMU, and if you've watched highlights of SMU, they look high powered, right?
They do.
If you've watched or listen, you know who's the coach of Louisville, Jeff Brom. You know his reputation.
I'm aware
is gonna be put up points.
Mm-hmm.
You know the over under is going to end up under. Listen, everybody in the United States of America, degenerate college football junkies that think they know anything about football.
Let me see what Louisville in the under
is going
right
to
now.
be going over. Everybody's going to hammer that over.
Oh God, yeah.
And just for that reason,
on my DraftKings,
Jeff Brom is going to. It's going to be 4 yards in a cloud of dust.
He's going to muck it up.
Yeah. He's going to Kentucky it up.
All right. The over under is 56.
They're gonna kill that over. The gamblers they're gonna hit. Look,
hammer that.
Not the Sharks.
Yeah,
the
right.
masses. The masses are gonna be like 56. That's it.
If you take Louisville -7 and you get the under, I mean you're plus 238. $10 win you 33. So I mean, if you feel really, really confident about that, you know. Throw $50 on it. Win you 170.
Jeff is gonna be slam right, slam left.
I can't
stretch right, stretch left.
I just cannot bet the under in a Louisville game. I can't do it.
Because it's so boring.
Yeah, well, because then I'm
you're rooting against points.
Score.
Yeah.
I can't root against points.
Yeah,
especially not in my
most people that I know say the same thing.
Yeah.
They hate betting unders.
Oh, that's one you just
Any
bet
game,
it and then you're like, I hope I lose it, and that way you don't care.
Yeah, like even if you're betting,
it's almost like an emotional hedge.
Yeah, Alabama, Georgia. It's like you don't want to bet no under. You're like,
no.
And Vegas is like, yeah, buddy.
They're gonna score 180 together. What?
Yeah, Vegas will circle back around on you. Okay, you got.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. And then we'll be back tomorrow to finish it off, man.
I'll tell you what, we'll take our last commercial break. 93.9 The Bill.
Kentucky football fans, picture this.